Hello guys, just to let you know, this is going to be the tutorial for the two projects that we have that are due for Monday, 4/20/2020 at 8 a.m. After doing a live Zoom session with both computer classes, I am ready to give this mini tutorial as according to the questions that were asked, as well as going over the tools that you will need for each of the projects. So I'm going to go ahead and begin sharing my screen so that you guys are able to see exactly what will need to be done. So because we are using the free online service, I'm going to go ahead and click on Microsoft Office. I'm already signed in and click on PowerPoint. So the first project that we're going to review is project number 4, which is the timeline. When we open the blank sheet of paper, the blank PowerPoint presentation, it will pop up with a slide that has two text boxes. For the timeline, we don't need those two text boxes. So we'll go ahead and delete these text boxes by clicking on them and then clicking on the delete button. So I go ahead and I click on it to make sure that it's not clicked on the section where you need to type stuff in, but rather on the outskirts. So how you know that you'll be clicking on it is that 4 arrows will show up, down, east, and west, or left and right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and click on that and click on the delete button to erase all of that because we don't need it for the first project, which is or project number 4, the first project of week 4, but it's number 4 that we're doing in this series of PowerPoint 2016. So the first thing that I want to do is insert a shape, preferably a squared shape, so that I could go ahead. Rectangle is also good, so that I could go ahead and create that middle bar for my timeline. If you notice, there is a dotted orange line that pops up so that it identifies where the center of our slide is. So I'm going to go ahead and expand this rectangular bar for it to be my baseline of my timeline. The next step that I'm going to do is insert a different type of shape, which is a line. I don't want the arrows pointing anywhere. I just want a simple basic line. So I'll go ahead and click on that. And if you could see here, it shows where that particular line that I chose is. It's a little bit diagonal, so I'm going to move it closer to the beginning because this is going to be my first out of 8 or 10 lines that I'm going to use for the timeline. This will mark the first life event that I want you guys to put here, which is the date of your birth. I'm going to go ahead and going to need to make this parallel to the initial horizontal line bar. So let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and move it in a straight parallel process to the main bar section. I'm going to move this a little bit closer to the beginning or to the left-hand side of the bar so that I have enough space to create and insert all my life events. Please remember that what is being requested of you is to input a total of 8 life events. So this is going to be my first life event, where I'm going to need to identify what this is. So I'll be inserting a text box and moving it up close to this parallel line, which is the first line, and identifying this as the birth line for kind of like demonstration purposes. You will need to input the date of your birth here. The next step, and I could probably move this a little bit over so that it's nicely centered on above the parallel line. The additional thing that we're going to need to do is insert a picture for each one of the life events. I'm just going to go ahead and choose any type of picture. And please remember that you will need to reduce its size so that your total of 8 to 10 life events could show. So I'm going to go ahead and click that airplane there. Notice that this image also has wording on it. So I'm going to go ahead, because I don't really need that, I'm going to delete the words that are down below here. So let me go ahead and delete that. I clicked on it and basically clicked on the delete button on the keyboard. So that's how you would need to create and insert your image, a text box, and the parallel line that goes parallel, or the straight line that goes parallel to the bar. I would suggest that you use the lines alternating, create one on top and then one on the bottom so that you're able to fit all your events here. The last step that you would want to do is create a title. So you would need to click on the text box again and kind of like center your title. So we'll go ahead and just go ahead and title it however you wish. I'm going to put, for demonstration purposes, just the title, okay? The other step that I want you to be mindful of is go ahead, if you'd like, to go ahead and change the font and its size if you want. So change the font and let's make it a little bit bigger, and there we go. So that is what you need to do for the timeline. I'm going to go ahead. I have my iPad open to the instructions, and I'm going to go and make sure that we've done everything. Yes. Okay. So you're labeling your timeline, the line parallel to the timeline, and you're inserting a picture and a title. The next project is project number 5, and that one is the All About Me project. I'm going to go ahead and continue the instructions on this actual PowerPoint. Once again, I'm just going to show you the tools that you need to use to create the second project. I'm going to once again start with a blank slide and go ahead and create a title of the life of. So I'm going to once again insert a text box into this particular slide, and I want to put the life of. Okay, I may want to center it. I may want to do something else, but for now we're just going to go ahead and keep it centered. I'm going to go ahead and change the font as well and make it a little bit bigger. If I make it too big and it goes down to the second line, all I really need to do is expand the text box so that it fits on one line. So there you go. Okay, so that's what we do. And then I want to insert a picture. Once again, I'm going to choose any type of picture. It's a little bit slow. So let me go ahead and close this box here so that you guys are able to see better. And so I'm going to go ahead and insert once again the airplane. Here, I would like to see a picture that represents you. So once again, some of the pictures that are on the internet has kind of like a citation. Go ahead, because it's a project and I know you're using the website, no need to cite the picture. So we're going to go ahead and delete that information, this particular text box from that area. So I'll go ahead and cut it off. And so I'll go ahead and add another text box with my name on it. Oops, I did two of them, but that's okay. We could delete one of the text boxes, and keep the other one. So I'll put the life of, and I'm going to put here Mrs. Bonet. I'm going to go ahead and change the actual font to the font that I used on top, and also change the size so that it looks a little bit more matched up to the top title. The next step that we are going to go ahead and do is add a new slide. Once again, the blank information, because we want to try to incorporate the bullet points. Once again, we'll use a text box, and the slides that you'll be creating, you'll have 3 bullet points. So I'm going to have it say first, second, and third. How you're able to go ahead and create the text box is highlight that word. This box will pop up, and this is the particular bullets that are available on the free program. So choose one you like. I'll go ahead and choose these arrows, and basically you're done. The free PowerPoint does not have the option of transitioning these bullet points. However, it has the capability of transitioning slides. So that's what we're going to do with this information, these 3 slides. I'm going to go ahead and click the first slide, click a transition option up here, and then choose what I'd like it to do. So I'll go ahead and maybe do a vortex for slide number 1. Let's see. Let's try a crush for slide number 2 and a fracture for slide number 3. How I know that there are transitions recorded, on the upper left-hand corner of each thumbnail slide, you will see the star. I'm pointing at it right now. How we test whether it's working or not, you will go ahead and choose slideshow, and you will need to start from the very beginning to determine whether it's working. Now, because we have not used a timed presentation, you will need to go ahead and click the right, the lower kind of like there's a right arrow on your keyboard that you'll be able to press. I believe you could also press enter to see that that transition is working. So if you could tell, it crumbled the first slide up and it presented the second slide. The second slide was fractured, that's a transition, and it came to the third slide. And that is the end of the slide. So please remember, the tools that you will need to use are for both of these projects, inserting the picture, inserting a shape, transitioning a slide, okay? The other thing that you'll need to do is highlight your options and click on the bullets arrow, click the down arrow, so that you're able to choose the bullets that you'd like to use for your options. If you have any questions, go ahead and email me and I'll answer your questions as best I can. I hope that this mini tutorial for Project 4 and 5 is helpful and you are able to process these two projects a little bit easier than the previous ones. As a reminder for those that did not attend any of the live sessions, you will be able to make up the projects that you have yet to turn in by April 20th, 8 a.m. for partial credit. After that, those things that have not been turned in will become zeros. If you have any questions in terms of if you are missing anything, the first step that you need to do is check each of the Show Me folders for each of the weeks of online learning and see if you have a comment there typed in by me to see if you got points or you got a no credit, which is an NC. You could also have the option of checking your Plus portals to determine which projects you haven't done because it will be reflected as an NC in your grade, which of course is equal to a 0. And so therefore, your actual grade average is current and up to date without having those projects come in. If you turn in the projects that you are still missing by Monday, April 20th at 8 a.m., you will get partial credit. So this will help your grade. As a reminder, I am also giving participation points for those of you that come into the live sessions, which are on a weekly basis, scheduled on a weekly basis. Once again, should you have any questions or concerns, please go ahead and email me and I'll try to help you the best way I can. My email, as a reminder, is nbonet2@pacehs.com. I am looking forward to seeing each one of you at our next live Zoom session, and I am hoping that you guys are doing, you and your families are faring well and staying healthy and adjusting to our new normal. Have a great evening, and we will see you in one of our live Zoom sessions. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing to say goodbye and good night. And once again, should you need me, go ahead and email me. Have a good evening.